21, it was just 21. Normally, you know. So one of the things I really try to work on, and I made more of an emphasis the last couple of years, is just bringing joy, enthusiasm, positivity, and fun. And I think I did this from day one, and I thought it was even more important to do so because of the uncertainty of the season. You know, we were starting, we didn't know when games were going to start, we didn't know if we were going to have games. So I just wanted to make it fun, and I think at the beginning we were just doing a bunch of fun stuff. We were just playing and just trying to think outside the box a little bit. I tried to maintain that throughout the season, and I think I really wanted to enhance the culture of success and joy, and I think these guys bought in, and I think they had fun every single day. With the prospect of only having 8 games, when we finally realized we were going to play games, it was even more important to make it super fun. I told them from day one, and obviously they told me this, that everyone was going to play. And I meant what I said when I told them I didn't really care about wins and losses. Because to me it was more important to have fun, play, because at any moment we could get shut down. So I really wanted to make sure it was fun. And I told everyone they were going to play. It wasn't going to be equal, but everyone was going to play. And that never happens on the varsity level. It just doesn't happen. And I talked to other coaches throughout the season, and I told them what I was doing, and they were a little surprised. But I think, as we all know, what happened was it created this culture and this feeling of everyone contributing and everyone feeling like they were really a part of something. And honestly, I mean, we all watched the games. Everyone went in and did something positive. Everyone did contribute in a positive way, which to me, when that was going on, and of course we ended up being pretty good too, so that helped. But when everyone was contributing and everyone was feeling valued, and that to me was, that was it. I was good. If we didn't win another game, I was fine. That was really the most important thing, especially when, you know, people weren't seeing their friends as much outside of school and might not have even been in school with some of their friends. To have all that happen was just really important for me. Obviously, I said, you know, the seniors and the starters were going to get the most time, which they did. And, you know, everyone else was going to get playing time after that. And then, you know, if there's a situation where I have to adjust end of game or something like that, and I did a couple times, that's what I was going to do. If we were in a position to win, you know, we were going to do it. And then it just worked out. So it was really fun. I think in the end, it made us a dangerous team to play against because everyone was coming in and doing stuff. You know, I think it was hard for people to focus on one person or 2 people or 3 people. And, you know, we had really good team success. I think it was a team in every sense of the word. And I keep saying it, but I think everyone found a little bit of fun, a little bit of joy in what we were doing. And I feel like everyone was really unselfish. And one of the best things that I really like is when people are really excited for other people's success. You know, when someone does something well on the court and someone's sitting on the bench. I mean, there were a ton of times I would turn around after someone made a shot or did something really cool. I turn around, everyone's like standing up and yelling and screaming. And like you look at each other and you're like, yes. So that kind of stuff was like really fun. To me, that was the biggest part of the season and being part of a team. And I told them at the beginning of the season, like, you're called a team, but just because you get a bunch of people together doesn't mean you're necessarily a team. Like, it takes some effort and some work to actually become a team. And I think we did that. And I think some of the skills and traits that we learned during the course of the very short season will take them farther in life, I hope. So as a team, we obviously finished our short season 8-0. We're number 2 seed. We obviously lost in the quarterfinals to Burlington. And Kanina and Brea, they've heard me say this a bunch over the summer, since then actually. You know, we lost in game number 9, and during a 20-game season, if you lose game number 9, you have practice to get ready for game 10, 11, 12, 13 on down the line. We didn't get that chance. We shot the ball really well for 8 games, and then we had one game where we didn't shoot it very well. And unfortunately, it was a playoff game. But something to learn from. But that loss, and I remember like it was yesterday, we're sitting there and Anna says to everyone, don't let this define our season. And I don't think it could have been said any better, because it was true, that loss didn't define our season, and it shouldn't have. So, well said, Anna. We averaged 67 points a game, which is, you saw us play. It was fast and furious. I think that last game, we scored like 46 or whatever it was. Kind of dropped our average a little bit, but we were right at 7 just before that game. But,
we'll call it 7.
Yeah, we'll call it 7. Round up. Yeah. We averaged 10 made 3-pointers a game, which is a lot. When you're scoring 30 points just off 3-pointers, it's a lot. And we averaged 18 steals a game. And the 18 steals is pretty important because we pressed the entire game, and getting 18 steals, if we can convert some of those into layups or points or free throws or whatever, it's a big deal. So those are just some team highlights. I'm really proud of these guys. They played hard, they practiced hard, they did everything I asked them to do. And I don't think there was ever one time, well, I know there wasn't ever one time where I thought to myself, I don't know if I really want to go to practice today. Like, I never had that cross my mind. It was the opposite. Like, I couldn't wait to get there. When you have kids like this, it's easy. They make it really easy. And I did get a lot of compliments from other coaches about our team and how they play and how they carry themselves. So those are the things that I'm probably most proud of. When other coaches recognize your players in a certain light, that's really important. So I'm just going to talk about each player briefly, and just come up after I say your name. This first player I've coached for a very long time. Many people who don't know Brea and myself well always ask me, is it hard to coach your daughter? And I say no, it's not. I've coached her since she was little, and more intensely, in middle school, elementary school, middle school. But we found a pretty good way to work together, and we're good at player, coach, dad, daughter. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I've been waiting for this for a long time, actually. As a basketball player, she's very good with the ball in her hands. Just pretty good court vision. And she stepped onto a team full of juniors and seniors as a freshman, which is not easy to do. And I think she held her own every day in practice and games. She helped us out in that BFA game, late in the game. And she earns her first year varsity pin. That's number 30, Brea Montague. I'll bring it to you though. This next player is able to impact the game in so many ways. Her passing, playmaking ability is excellent. She's a gifted passer, excellent shooter, high basketball IQ, quick hands on defense. And she displays this joy and excitement when other people do well. And it's really fun to watch. She loves the game, and she's always looking to get better. In my opinion, she's one of the best players in the state, if not the best player in the state. She was voted first team All-Metro, voted to the Dream Dozen, the best 12 underclass players in Division I and II for the second year in a row. And she earns her second year varsity bar page return. It's another really excellent shooter. But that's not all she can do well. She's really developed into some solid ball handling skills. She's able to get to the rim off the dribble, and she's a really, really good defender, especially on the ball. I'm always amazed at how she can be one of the nicest people I've ever met and coached, but she just plays with this like little toughness and fierceness that you just wouldn't expect from her. But it's awesome. She's a true pleasure to coach, and can't wait for things for her for next year. She earns her varsity letter and her first year varsity pin, Maddie Rabidou. This next player really grew in terms of her confidence on the offensive end, and that was one of the things I was most proud about for this kid. She's very capable of being a consistent threat to score the ball, and she was able to extend her shooting range this year, and as time wore on, you could see she was really comfortable with it. And it was really nice to see, especially when she made them, just boosted her confidence, practice games. Her defense is always excellent, and it's clearly a strength, and she's going to be an impact player for sure next year. She earns her first year varsity pin, Kaylee Appenfeller. So I always am pretty familiar with the kids that play at ADL and EMS. Sometimes I don't know the kids that come from Westford. Sometimes I do. But when she came to open gym before her 9th grade year, I was like, who is that kid? I was like, she looks like she's pretty good. She can play. And even until this year, obviously, I didn't know her really that much as a person. So it was really great to get to know her, and she was an absolute pleasure to coach. I really admire her on-ball defense. She's always in a defensive stance. She's always moving her feet, and that's the kind of stuff a coach loves and wants. Her shooting is good. I know it's going to get even better. Her passing is good, and she made some passes in summer league this summer that were pretty awesome. And I know her confidence is going to grow after the season she had playing AAU too. She did a really good job. She earns her varsity letter and her first year pin, Cassidy White. This player brings a lot of enthusiasm and energy to our team, and I love it. She's got an easygoing attitude with a fun personality, but when it comes to working hard on the court, she does it. Her shooting, ball handling, and decision making continue to improve, and her play on the defensive end of the floor proved to be a spark for us in every single game. She moves really well on the floor, moves her feet well. She earns her varsity letter and her first year pin, Emma Whitney. I haven't coached many players with the combination of strength and speed that this person has. When you add her skill set to all of this, she's a force on the court, and she does a lot of really good things. A lot of good guard skills for someone who's taller. She embraces hard work. She likes the hard work. In fact, she embraces it and just loves it so much that there were times I forgot she was nursing a nagging ankle injury. You just wouldn't know it. That's how hard she goes all the time. She completes her second varsity season and earns her second year varsity bar, Emily Rose Mercer. Kind of like I said before, I've seen a lot of these kids play in middle school before they even get to the high school. And I'm obviously watching them at the high school as well. this player has made a lot of growth over the last few years. She's coachable, she's hardworking, and she really displayed a great team-first attitude this year. Her shooting was great, as was her rebounding and her defense. She was a really good addition to this team. She earns her varsity letter and her first-year varsity pin, Macy Hutton. I'll just say a couple things about Mila really quick, even though she's not here. Mila's pretty versatile on both ends of the floor. You know, she can shoot from the outside, she posts up, she can handle the ball, she can make passes for others, for hoops, quick feet on defense, quick hands on defense. She's really able to guard anyone on the court. And this was her first year on varsity. She earns her varsity pin, Mila Gukas. All right, all done. Oh, sorry. Before I talk about the three seniors, I told them this, I told the team this, like, as far as like being leaders during a difficult time, I don't know if I could have had three better seniors, captains. They were, from day one, they were just awesome. Led by example, they led vocally, they carried themselves the right way in every aspect imaginable, and it was an honor to have them as captains. It was really good. And you know, the rest of the kids are really good kids, but you know, when you have three kids like that who really set the bar and they are great examples, like it just runs down the line. The kids that are going to be on varsity next year that are new are going to, you know, understand what the culture's about, because a bunch of these kids saw what Emma and Anna and Olivia did. So it's a little trickle down effect, which has been great. Olivia, you are competitive and you are a fighter. I know the leg injury you were battling all year was tough, but you continue to show your attacking style on both ends of the floor. Your desire to try to play through injuries and pain in an effort to contribute to your team is admirable. I'm most proud of the positive leadership that you provided. This can't be understated. It takes a special person to not be at 100% physically, but to find other ways to make up for it, and you did that. I know it was really hard, but you ended up standing out because of all that stuff. This was Olivia's third year on varsity, and she earns her third-year bar and her captain's pin. She was voted to the Vermont Senior All-Star Game, and that's number 22, Olivia Noyes. Anna, you compete all of the time. You never take a play off. You go hard to make yourself better, but it's clear you also do that to make your teammates better. You go all out. You don't settle for anything less. You pay attention to the little things and you work your butt off to get those little things right. I continue to love and appreciate your fighting spirit and your love for chocolate. This was Anna's third year on varsity. She earns her third-year bar and her captain's pin. Anna was voted to the Vermont Senior All-Star Game. She was voted second team All-Metro, number 42, Anna Saban. Emma, your confidence was at an all-time high as a varsity basketball player this season. Your confidence was high because you put in the work. Your work ethic and attention to detail in all aspects is something that does not go unnoticed. You go hard all the time, and your competitive spirit is something coaches love. Your growth as an offensive player has been a pleasure to watch and be a part of, and your defense has always been your strength. What I am most proud of is the leadership role that you embrace. This was Emma's third year on varsity. She earned her varsity bar, captain's pin. Emma was voted to the Vermont Senior All-Star Game and also voted to second team All-Metro, number 44, Emma C. So the high school gives out awards for being on varsity for 3 years, 4 years. So our 3 seniors were on varsity for 3 years, so they get a 3-year varsity award. So Olivia Noyes. Hannah Saber. And Emma Saber. So I have some awards that the girls vote on. The first one is Offensive Player of the Year. We actually had 2 players. This first player, hard-nosed on offense, was never afraid of contact and consistently attacked defenders in practice and in games. She worked really hard, at least over the 3 years that I saw her on our team, at becoming a solid offensive player. Her attention to detail in practice, in the summer, with footwork and other stuff like that was just impeccable, and her determination to get to the rim was truly impressive. Her shooting improved every year, and I think that's why her teammates recognize her as being a solid offensive player. And one of our offensive players of the year is Anna Saber. Our other offensive player of the year, excellent offensive player, who scored all 3 levels, layups, outside shooting, free throws. She could pass the ball really well. She led the team in assists. She led the team in total points scored. She led the team in scoring average per game with 19 points a game. Shot 75% from the free throw line, which is pretty good. And she shot 41% from the floor, 45% from 2-point range, 37% from 3-point range, which is pretty good for a high school player. Our second offensive player of the year is Paige Winters. So our defensive player of the year, she's one of the most sound and fundamental defensive players I've ever coached. On-ball defense is excellent. Off the ball, she's always in the right position. She can change the game with just how she plays defense. She was second on the team in total rebounds, second on the team in defensive rebounds, second on the team in deflections, third on the team in steals. But I think anyone that has watched her play defense knows it's not about the numbers. It's just how she guards ball handlers. She just does a really good job. And for the 3rd year in a row, our defensive player of the year is Emma C. I think there's only did Olivia Duncan graduate when you guys were freshmen? She was a senior, yeah. So Olivia won that award at the varsity level for 4 years, and now Emma won it 3 years in a row. So only 2 people have won that award in the last 7 years. So our most valuable player, this person led our team in most categories, and if she was not the leader, she was in the top 2 or 3. Again, she's able to impact the game in so many ways, and one of the best players, if not the best player in the state. Our most valuable player is Paige Winters. Our most improved player, and I think most improved doesn't mean you were terrible and then you just got really good. It just means, you made a lot of growth in a lot of different areas. And I also look at it as someone who really made a nice adjustment to the varsity level as well. I think that can be thrown in there. And this player, number one, got better from JV year to varsity, but as the season progressed, they also got better. She just made a significant improvement from last year to this year. Her shooting got better, her shot selection improved dramatically. She was just a solid player on the floor at all times. Our most improved player is Lacey Hutton. So our Coaches Award, usually give this to a player who comes to practice every day. I mean, they all work hard, it's kind of a given. Has a great attitude, no matter what their role is on the team. During games, they're doing all they can to make sure their team is successful in any area possible. This person did all of that and more. She's a true team player, was a positive force for our team and her teammates. Bothered by an injury all season, and it didn't really let her do what she wanted to do on the court, but she still tried and tried and tried, and it was pretty admirable. But she contributed on the court, of course, but also as just one of the best leaders we've had. Our Coaches Award goes to Olivia Noakes. And our last award is the Gene Robinson Sportsmanship Award. And I decided to name this after Coach Robinson. She coached this team for 36 years, and she's one of the all-time greatest coaches in Vermont history, and probably one of the best high school coaches in New England history. Her players always carried themselves a certain way, class, with dignity. They were always respectful of everyone they came into contact with, whether it's opposing players, coaches, referees. This person in particular is, I think, loved by her teammates immensely. It's pretty clear how much they respect her. In particular, I think they respect her work ethic, the time she has put into improving her ability on the court, but I think most importantly, they really respect how she treats others and carries herself. I don't know if you could get any better than that. This person truly valued her team and put them above herself. I really think Coach Robinson probably would have loved to have coached this person. Our Gene Robinson Sportsmanship Award goes to Maddie Rabideau. That's all I have. I just got a couple quick things I wanted to say. When the season gets done, it doesn't take my brain to start thinking about next year. For those of you that are coming back, commit to getting better. And it doesn't take much. You just need a ball. You don't even need a hoop sometimes. You can do stuff in your garage. COVID taught us that, right? So just, if you want to get better, commit to it. Next year we have a chance to be really good. So it doesn't happen without the players returning, trying to get better though. So really work at it. Most importantly, I know the season was odd. My goal and my hope was that it was fun. It was a place where you can enjoy each other's company. I hope you enjoyed your coaches. I hope for that hour and a half every single day you were able to forget about school, COVID, your parents, your siblings, whatever the case may be, and just kind of lose yourself in basketball for a little while. I hope you look forward to practicing games, and I hope you found it as much fun as I did. So, thank you for everything you did.
You have something? This might be really awkward, guys.
Should we bring this one, or are we using it?
Yeah, do this one and
No, we're not using it. No, we have two speeches that were mashed together. So.
Yeah, so they made the paper one, but I don't have a printer, so mine's on my phone, and we're all gonna read it.
All right.
Yeah.
Read all of this, and then we'll go through it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. It's the little things that matter. Coach will tell us every practice. If we pay attention to all the details, we would jump levels and separate ourselves from the competition. This is what we did and continue to work on. Eventually, we were getting comments from opposing teams and spectators about how much fun it looked like we were having, and we definitely had a lot of fun. Winning was pretty fun, but it was mostly due to the details we focused on outside of the game, like forming friendships and discovering everyone's contributions to the team.
Writing this speech months later, we were able to remember and want to appreciate some of the little things each person contributed. ER, you were strong in the post and you had a great move to the basket. Hey, you see the floor like no one else, not to mention your ability to pull off the behind the back pass.
Kaylee, you worked hard on defense in practice and in games, which pushed us all to be better ball handlers.
Mila, she was a rebounding queen. Maddie, you were one of our best three-point shooters. Shoot more.
Emma, your work effort never died. You pushed us all to work harder.
Macy, you were strong in the post, but just as important, you brought a lot of energy to practice. Cassidy, you were fundamentally sound and always knew where to be on defense and offense.
Rhea, the baby of the family, had the coordination when it came to juking out the elders, but not when it came to running it down your back.
Lauren she always recognized our needs of improvement and communicated it clearly to everyone, not to mention that she was the star of the team whenever she filled in. Peter, it was great to have him as a coach this year. He knew the game very well and gave us a lot of new pointers, not to mention making the whole team better by playing the post in our practices. If we could guard your height, we could guard anyone.
Coach, you are the glue. You make basketball so much fun. The environment you create on your team is positive and motivational. Every year you shape a bunch of teenage girls into a family. That's very impressive. Thank you for all the time you spend making the Essex program what it is.
Okay, intermission. Okay. This basketball season has been the most memorable season in our career here at Essex High School. It was memorable because of the fun we had, like our shooting competitions, team selfies, and the free throw running challenge, which is by far my favorite thing ever. You could just see the smiles on everyone's faces when Coach said to line up on the sideline. But also, the season was memorable because of some of the worst reasons, like COVID. COVID kept our entire team on our toes about everything. Some of our teammates for part of the season were unable to practice or play games because there was a close contact. This took away valuable time that we were able to spend together as a team. Despite not having the entire team there sometimes, this didn't affect the unity of and friendships and the way we played. When I walked into practice every day, I could feel a sense of unity on the court, which made me excited to be there. Everyone was kind and friendly. It was just a good environment to be in. Everyone seemed to know each other and be on each other's level, which made us play great together.
Our team chemistry was unbeatable. This is an amazing thing for teams to have despite not being able to have team dinners, sleepovers, or hang out outside of practices and games. With our limited season, everyone worked so hard and got better every single day. We pushed each other in practices and games while celebrating each other's successes. During our halftime circles, I loved how much people went out of their way to bring up something good they noticed someone else do, or bring up someone else up when they felt down. We celebrated the smallest things and never forgot to give each other high fives.
Yeah. Every single person contributed in games, which is a rare thing for a team to have. But what was most noticeable was how we brought our drills and practice directly to games. Coach's face lit up each time we brought a one more drill to a game and drained it through as a result. There were so many things to celebrate. We definitely saved the best for last, although we may not have gotten the ending we wanted. Thank you guys for a great senior season, and thank you, Coach, for the best 3 years of basketball in this team.
I'm gonna chop it.